Hi, my name is Megan Keating, and today I'll be interviewing Sheriff Bill Prummell. And we're just basically going to go over what he does, some difficulties of his job, and what he wants to see from the youth. So, what originally brought you to law enforcement? Was it your dream job, or were you originally interested in something else?
No, actually I started my career off as a custom cabinet maker and carpenter, and I started to go to school for architecture. My wife and I, we married very young and had a child very young, and we moved here from New York. And I had some friends that were in law enforcement, and they kind of pushed me into it, thought I had the demeanor for it. So when I moved to Florida, I applied for the sheriff's office and then got hired.
Is there anything you wish you'd done differently in the process?
I love the sheriff's office very much. I love law enforcement. The only thing I really regret is that I never was able to get back to school for my Juris Doctorate. I didn't want to be an attorney, but I always felt it would kind of give me a little bit of an advantage, especially now in the position I'm in, because we deal a lot of stuff with legal stuff, not just criminal law, but we deal a lot with administrative law. We deal a lot with HR, finance, a lot of different things, and having that background, I think, would have given me a little bit more of an edge.
What would you say your average day looks like?
My average day? Well, I tell people now it doesn't seem like I'm a cop anymore. I sit behind a desk, I go out and talk to the community. I'm not really out there enforcing the laws anymore, but my job is still very important because I got to set the tone, and I'm the face for the sheriff's office. I got to guide all the employees as to what direction we need to go in, along as well as getting their input on how we're going to get there. We have to look at what's going on worldwide, nationwide, and in the state of Florida, as well as locally, as how it's going to affect the sheriff's office, how it's going to affect our community, and how are we going to be able to better provide services to our community based on what's going on. So my job involves a lot of planning, a lot of meetings, and just kind of being out there in the community and trying to hear from them as to what's going on.
Would you think you miss being a cop, or do you like where you're at now?
I do miss kind of being out there, picking up a case file and investigating, and I spent a lot of my career as an investigator, and I really enjoyed it. So yes, I do miss that a lot, but I still do enjoy where I am in being sheriff, because I feel like I'm doing some good, not just for the community, but for the members here in the sheriff's office. I'm trying to make sure that they get what they need so they can do their jobs effectively, efficiently, and most important, safely.
What would you say is your favorite part of your job?
Favorite part of my job is probably just going out, meeting the people, interacting with the people, and interacting with my staff. At times when I am able to get out of the office or get away from meetings, I try and get out to the different offices, go out and meet the squads where they're out working. So I really like helping people and making a difference in the community.
What is something you're responsible for that most people don't know?
What a lot of people don't know, just in general, a lot of people think the sheriff's office is just the green and whites they see running around on the street that were strictly road patrol. They don't realize that we're a full-service law enforcement agency. I have a Marine Patrol division, I have an aviation division. We're responsible for our training. I have the jail. A lot of people don't realize too that I'm in charge of the courts, court security, and we have to serve civil process throughout the county and warrants throughout the county. So there's a lot that goes on within the sheriff's office, and we have our Citizen Police Academy that we've been doing here for many years, that we invite the citizens in and we basically show them what we do. And a lot of them, it's a huge eye-opener because they don't realize it, because that's what they think. We're just the green and whites, and we run from call to call, but we're so much more.
What do you wish you could change about your job?
Oh, probably, I had someone say to me one time, and they were absolutely right. Crime is easy, people are hard. Just dealing with employee issues and personnel issues day after day If I can just deal with crime and the future of the agency, I'd be really happy. But a lot of my time gets diverted with just dealing with politics, which politics are, we're on camera, so I'll be nice, but politics aren't very good. I hate politics. I'm not traditionally a politician, but now I'm in a position where I have to be a politician. So the politics and there's some of the personnel issues and dealing with a lot of these different mandates that come down from the state and federal level, it gets very frustrating. Sometimes I feel if they would just let me do law enforcement stuff, I'd be so much happier.
My follow-up question was about like your best advice on being the sheriff. Would you say that was your best advice, or do you think you've gotten some better advice?
You know, an old sheriff one time had stated to me when I've only been sheriff, I'm in my 6th year now. I was talking to an old-time sheriff, and they were saying that you got to remember a lot of this stuff I brought up, the personnel issues, the political issues. He goes, that's just stuff. That's stuff that's always going to be there. It'll be there day after day. But what our main focus is as sheriff is to protect the people and find out what the people want, what the community wants. That's what we're there for. We're there to protect our communities. Everything else is just stuff. It'll always be there, and you'll get through it.
That's really good advice. What is your definition of success, and do you feel you've reached it? If not, what more would you need to do to get there?
I don't know if anybody's really ever happy with their level of success. You know, we have our ups and downs in the sheriff's office. I believe I've moved the sheriff's office forward. I've worked very well with our county government, with all the other constitutional officers, and we're all on the same page with trying to move Charlotte County forward. And I've been able to bring a lot of things to the sheriff's office in cooperation with the county, getting new facilities, new equipment. So in that aspect, I feel I'm successful. But until I can say that we're the safest county in the state of Florida, I don't know if I can ever say I'll be happy. We came close. We were the 2nd safest county in the state of Florida per capita, but and I also know that you're never going to eliminate crime. You can do things to reduce it, prevent it, but you're never going to completely eliminate it.
What should future generations know about being a sheriff?
Just like I said before, the sheriff is elected by the people. They work for the people, and there should be concern on what the people want and what's the best for the community. Now, not all the time are you going to be popular and make popular decisions, because sometimes you know things as sheriff that you have to go in one direction when the community or other people would like to see you go in another. So you got to make those tough decisions. But you got to remember, this is a very powerful position, and the power in this position can easily be abused. So you got to remember, with the power comes a responsibility, and you got to make sure that you're using that responsibility for the best interest of your people, for your agency, and for the community.
What would you like to see from future Charlotte County sheriffs?
Just to keep Charlotte County moving forward, trying to keep us, like I said, one of the safest counties, and just remember that this position, you're here for the people and not for yourself. I've seen sheriffs from around the nation. I've interacted with them, and some of them are in the position for the wrong reason. They just want the power. Although it is a very powerful position, you shouldn't be in it for the power. You should be in it because of what you can do for your community.
Do you have any programs through your department that you'd like to see Charlotte County teens involved in?
We have several programs, and we're hoping that we could develop some more in the future. We have our Junior Law Academy that we put on during the summertime, and that's kind of focused at our middle school kids. It's very similar to our Citizen Police Academy that I spoke of earlier. We bring the kids in and we show them what the criminal justice system is like, what the sheriff's office is like, and we have some playtime with them too. We'll bring them to some fun activities. They'll also run through our physical agility tests to see what it's like to maintain your certifications and all that stuff. We have our teen driver challenge, where we have teens who are just got their permits. The licenses start about 16 years old, and we take them through a driver training course. And it's not just showing them the rules of the road and how to operate a vehicle, but also basic maintenance on a vehicle, because a lot of people today don't know how to check their oil. So we run them through all that stuff, and we're just trying to develop a lot of different things. My school resource staff, during downtime, they try and put on a lot of different sports camps to get the kids in, so we're interacting with them, we're keeping them active, plus we're building that relationship to let the kids know that you don't need to be intimidated by us, you don't have to dislike us, you don't have to be scared. We're people too. We just have a job to do. It's everybody kind of knows it's kind of a funny joke. We have a love-hate relationship with like the firemen, and just like here, I got a great relationship with our fire chief. But everybody likes to see a fireman coming, because a fireman is always there to help you. Where when you see law enforcement coming, not all the time are we there to help you. Sometimes we're there to correct you because something you did wrong, and people generally don't like to be corrected. So, the kids just got to remember that, and same thing with adults. We're there to do a job, and it's a different world out there today. It's different than even when I started 25 years ago. People are much more apt to challenge law enforcement. We just saw what happened down in Fort Myers. A few years back, I had a deputy killed here, just because more and more people are just turning to violence to settle their ways, and we get caught in the middle of it. And oftentimes, where the criminal justice system is a very large system, it includes a lot of different entities, but law enforcement is at the forefront, so we're the ones that are always under the microscope, and we're held accountable. But everybody forgets there's a much bigger system of justice. And people get upset with us because we're enforcing laws, and we got to remind people, we enforce the laws, we don't write the laws. Now we do try and work like the sheriffs in the state. Through the Sheriff's Association, we try and work with the legislators up in Tallahassee as well as Washington, that if we see bad legislation coming, or bad legislation that has been passed, we try to work to get it fixed. It doesn't always work, but we do work hard on it. Ultimately, it's up to our legislators to either vote yes or no on a particular piece of legislation. But if it comes down and we don't particularly care for it or agree with it, it's still law. We have to follow it.
Seeing as this is a platform for Charlotte County youth, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I would like to see maybe the kids get a little bit more. I'd like to see probably more internships here in the sheriff's office, even if they don't go in the direction of public safety, just so they can interact and see what goes on. And as they grow up and they go into whatever profession, they have a better understanding of what law enforcement does. And what a lot of people don't understand too, with the sheriff's office is we're not just law enforcement. I have a large civilian staff here, and we've just started a cadet program. Because I don't know if you know this, but Charlotte County is the oldest community in the nation.
Really?
Yeah. We have the oldest population per capita in the nation. So it's difficult often to find employees here in Charlotte County that are of workforce age. And we have a lot of kids that graduate from high school all the time, and they go off to college, and then they try and move out of the area. Well, what we're trying to do is we're trying to attract them back, or try to keep them. And I started a cadet program, so once you graduate high school, if you're between the ages of 18 and 21, Of course, you gotta go through a background check. You go through the background, and we'll bring you on a part-time basis. And we'll just move you around to different areas of the office so you get to learn it. And you can still go to school at the same time. And then by the time you reach the age 21, if you've shown that you're a good employee and you want to be a part of this organization, if you want to be certified, we can send you to the academy then to either be law enforcement or detention. We have jobs in communications, but also people don't realize we have a finance division, we have an IT division. Actually, my very first cadet is a young man we just took on who his vision is to be in computers. So he's now working part-time with our IT, and down the road he finishes school. If he works out, he can come on full-time here as one of my IT people.
Thank you for watching, thanks for enjoying our interview, and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, thank you.